Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing, and if you're an old subscriber, you're well appreciated. In this video, we're going to be making this pencil dress that comes with an asymmetric cut at the shoulder area. Stay tuned as you learn. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing, we'll be needing our material, which I'm using light pink and dark pink. The dark pink is for the body, while the light pink is for the sleeve and the asymmetric area of the dress. So the dark pink is 1 yard, while the light is 1.5. So here I've folded the fabric into 4, and I'm taking out the 1 inch for the zipper allowance. So here I'm just measuring that. I've done that. So after doing that, I went ahead to take the full length of the dress. So here I've marked the full length, which I used 42 inches for the full length of the dress. I did that off camera. I guess I lost that clip. So after that, we go to our shoulder area and take our shoulder measurement, which our shoulder measurement was 14 inches divided by 2, that's 7, and I added ½ inch for sewing allowance. So make sure you use your own measurements, and while you're using your measurements, you add ½ inches for all the sewing allowance. So here I've taken the bust point, which is 9 inches plus ½ inch, and I'm taking the waist measurement 14.5 inches. I added ½ inch for the sewing allowance, and then I'm going to the hip, which is 23 inches, and I added ½ inches for the sewing allowance. By the time you join the ½ inch at the shoulder area, all the measurements will go back to the normal place. So here I'm taking the chest line, which is 7, and I added ½ inch. So go ahead to connect those lines to the other end just to have a straight measurement. So here I'm just going ahead to take those measurements in the other end of the fabric. So now I'm just connecting all the dots I've made together. So after you're done with that, I'm going ahead to the chest line to just create a rectangle shape, so as to be able to cut out the armhole area of the dress. So after you've connected the points together, you go ahead to use your armhole cut to just your French cuff to cut out your armhole. I don't even know what I was saying there, but your French cuff to cut out your armhole. Yeah. So yeah, I've gone ahead to connect the line from the shoulder to the armhole using our French cuff. So after I've done that, if you notice there's an ½ inch reduction in the measurement of the shoulder after I drew that, so I didn't need to measure it again. So after that, here I was just connecting all the other ends together from the waist and for the hip. So after I've done that, I'm going ahead, since this fabric is a very stretchy fabric, I'll be cutting directly on the measurements I take. I'm not going to be really adding much sewing allowance to it. So for example, now I'm taking the bust measurement, which is the bust measurement divided by 4, which I used 9 inches, and I added ½ inch. So the waist is also divided by 4, and I added ½ inch. If the fabric is very stretchy, you can cut directly without adding allowances, but this fabric was a bit stretchy, so I needed to just add about ½ inch allowance, and then I'm going to sew it with 1 inches. So here I already did the hip measurement divided by 4, and I added my sewing my half-inch sewing allowance. So after you've done that, you go to the end of your dress and you take your hip measurement, you take away 2 inches just to make it to have this pencil fitting. So is on that measurement you're going to connect all your dots together. So now what I'll be doing is connecting all the dots I've made, connect them together to form the body of the dress. So now we'll go ahead to cut out the body of the dress. So here I've already cut out the body of the dress, and we'll be going to cut out the neck area for the dress. So here I'm taking the measurement 3 inches by 3.5 inches for the front of the dress. While the back of the dress is 3 by 2 inches. And then you go to the end of your shoulder, your armhole area, and you take out 1/2 inch. And then you connect that to create a slope, so as for your dress, the shoulder to sit perfectly on your shoulder area. And then here I'll just cut out the neck and the shoulder area. So here I'm done doing that. So I'll open up the front, and from the one end I'm going to take 3 inches, and from the other end I'm going to take 7 inches. Then I'll go ahead to connect the lines together. So after I'm done connecting the lines, I'll go ahead to measure 1/2 inches from that line I already did. So I'm going to be cutting on the 1/2 inch. That will be the sewing allowance for that area. So after I've done that, I'm going to go ahead to use this slashing method to create the asymmetric area. So here, because there's a little gathers at the asymmetric area, that's why we're using the slashing method. So after that, I'm going to go ahead to measure 1/2 inches for the joining as well. So here, since I took out 1/2 inches from that body, I'm going to add 1 inch plus the 1/2 inch for the sewing allowance. So here I'm going to go ahead to cut that out. So after I'm done, I'm going to go ahead to cut an interfacing for the front and the back of the dress. Mind you, I should have cut the interfacing for the front before doing the slash and spread method, but then I'm going to go ahead to use the back to cut the front of the dress and just measure it out. I'm going to be measuring using the same measurements I took for the neck, which is 3 by 3.5, and then I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. And then I'm just using this to get the same measurements, but mind you, I took it away by 1 inch. So here I've already cut out the interfacing for the front of the dress and then the back. So here now we're going to our machine to join the interfacings for the front, and here I'm going to be gathering the front of the dress on the interfacing to make sure everything fits the interfacing perfectly. So here I'm just making little gathers or pleats, little pleats. You have to be very patient with this area so as not to make any mistake. So after that, you go ahead to notch that area and then you lap it. You sew on the interfacing, not on the front of the dress, on your interfacing. You lap on the interfacing. So that's what I'm doing here. So after that, I'm going to join the asymmetric to the body of the dress. So here I'm going to also create little pleats. So here I was just trying to get the centers of the asymmetric cut and the center of the dress itself. So I will go ahead to start by sewing straight for about 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead to start pleating little pleats on the dress. So here I'm already done doing the pleats at the other end, and then this is it. This is what we have. I'm going ahead as well to join the shoulders together. So here I was just trying to align the joinings together and then make sure the joinings are seated perfectly. So I'll pin that down. So after that, I'll make sure the ends of the interfacing are also well arranged and pin it down. So after I've done that, I'll go ahead to gather the baby pink on the back, since the baby pink is going to be longer than the dark pink. So here I'll just go ahead to make little pleats as well. So before you get to the end of the back, you're going to leave about 1 inch so as to be able to join your sleeve to the dress. Just like that, and then you go ahead to cut out that area so it will not be too bulky. So here is what it looks like after I've done all of those. So we'll go ahead to the back of the dress now. So here from the end of the dress, I measured 12 inches and 10 inches. So I'll be using 10 inches for the slits. So I'll go ahead from the beginning of the back to the end and join by 1 inch for the zipper allowance. So I'm going ahead to do that, and here I'm just going to fold the slits and sew the slits round. So here I'm already done with that. I'm going ahead to the body of the dress. I'll just go ahead to join the body together by 1 inch as well. So here I've done that, and I've gone ahead to join the zip. So here I'm just going ahead to hem the bottom of the dress by 1.5 inches. So you go ahead to just sew that round. So yeah, I've done that already. Sleeve of the dress, which I'm using 22 and a half inches plus 1.5 for sewing, and then I'll go ahead to connect that together and cut that out. So after I've done that, I'm measuring the wideness of the sleeve, which I'm using 11 inches plus sewing allowance of 1 inch. So after that, I'll go ahead to measure 5 inches and then connect from the center of the sleeve to that 5 inches, because the sleeve is a puff sleeve and it's a wide sleeve. That's why I used that measurement. So after that, I'll go ahead to join the sleeve by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead to fold down 1 inch in, and then I'll go ahead to fold it and sew it. But while sewing it, I'll leave about 1 inch so as to fix the elastic inside of it. So here I've already gone ahead to do that. So that's the 1 inch that is left for fixing the elastic. The next thing is go ahead to measure your elastic. So here I've measured it and I've fixed it inside the sleeve, and here I'm just going ahead to sew down the elastic to keep it in place, and then I'll go ahead to close that place up. So I've gone ahead to close it up, and this is what the sleeve looks like before joining it. So here now I'm going ahead to join the sleeve to the and connect it to the dress. So here I'm just connecting the centers together, and then I'll go ahead to plait it and sew it round. So here's what we have after we've done that. Here's our beautiful dress. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications. Bye. See you next video.